Okay, so I'm going to do some introductions for you all. If you have not already met me, my name is Sarah Naslin, and I am a pre-employment transition advisor at SkyCTC.
And hi, everybody. I am Hope Armstrong. I am a pre-employment transition specialist here at SkyCTC.
So today we are featuring OVR in the Kentucky Career Center. So we're going to start with Ricky at OVR.
Good morning, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Ricky Wooten. I work with the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation. I'm a counselor, and basically what that means is we help people with disabilities get jobs, keep jobs, try to help them live independently. We do lots of stuff. We partner with different agencies, Sky, we partner with Kentucky Career Center, Life Skills, just about everybody that will help us to help you obtain employment and keep employment, and so you can live independently. That's kind of what our mission is. We have counselors in every county in the state. There's somebody that will help you. The criteria to be in our program is you have to have a disability that causes you to have limitations to obtain employment or even to keep employment. And I'll give you an example of that. Let's say you're diagnosed with severe anxiety and look at your work history and it's kind of choppy. It's not very good. Well, the reason being could be your anxiety. And so when you come to us, we look at what's going on and we try to help you understand it, treat it, so you can, when the next job you get, that you can maintain that job instead of skipping around everywhere. And usually your work history will show us some of those limitations that you have. Like I said, we do lots of stuff. I mean, we don't have enough time to tell what we do. We are in schools. We are in just about every school in this 10 county area, I believe, with Pre-ETS, transition work transition program. So we do a lot. We're a small agency, but we do a lot. And one of the things we talk about also is like training. You can come to us the bottom line is to get you a job, but if you need training to get that job, we also provide services such as we have job placement services where one of our job placement specialists will do mock interviews, help you with resumes. They will even go out and advocate for you because you do have a disability. And if that's something you want, then we'll advocate for you. Also, we have, like, for example, we have training like Sky, Western. We're every college in the state that is a community college or a state college, we're vendors with. So what that means is we can help provide monies for you to attend school, to pay for your tuition, and it's up to $1,500 a semester, and we pay up to $500 for books a semester if you're eligible for a program. Now, when I say that, when you're eligible for a program, what that means is you have to have limitations. For example, the anxiety. We're not usually, what comes along is you'll have bad grades or you'll miss school or something like that, because I had one lady that she missed school, a lot of school, because her anxiety. Can't stay focused, can't stay on track, need help. We also, what we'll do is help provide accommodations. I have people in school that have accommodations that need like extra time, need a calculator, need to be testing in a separate room, all sorts of stuff like that. Because what we want to do is, we know it's difficult for you because of your disability. And so we still want you're still able to go out and take these accommodations and get your degrees or get your certifications or whatever, and still be able to find suitable employment. That's one thing that we talk about. It's competitive, integrated employment is what we do. We don't just stick you anywhere. And it's got to be suitable for you. Just like the lady, with severe anxiety, we're not going to just stick you in a job at a factory that's running that 12-hour shifts, and or stick you at a speedway and at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, everybody's coming in there for gas, cigarettes, lottery tickets, everything. So it's just going to freak you out. So we don't do that. We try to, actually, when you're in our program, you actually tell us what we need to work on. We do something what we call vocational guidance and counseling. And in case you'll come to me and say, I want to be an underwater welder. Well, my job is to make sure, if that's what you want to do, that you understand that there's no jobs around here. We use the labor market information a lot. Like, I can't, if you're not willing to move, then that goal is just not suitable. And so it's our job to kind of help explain that to you. One of the things that we really pride ourselves on is, like, when you're in our program, we follow you. If you in our program and you're going to school to get a bachelor's degree, we'll follow you all through that, and we help you with tuition as long as you're making the grades and you get your degree. And even when you get your degree, we still follow you. We'll help you get a job, and even if you get that job, we still follow you for 90 days to make sure that, at least 90 days, to make sure that you're at least that's suitable for you. So like I said, we got a counselor in every county. We help with, like, I'm also a communication specialist, which that means I deal with hard of hearing or deaf. I help people obtain hearing aids. We do, if we have interpreter services. It's just lots of things that we do. I mean, our rehab tech department is amazing. They always call them the MacGyvers of our department, because they can take a piece of cardboard and turn it into anything, kind of thing. So our agency is just, it's so expansive that I can't talk about everything. But what I always like to tell you is, like, we treat you not just as a number. We treat you as somebody that's coming to us for help, and we don't look at it that way. All of our counselors are very compassionate, and we actually want you to find your goal, get your goal, and be successful, because that, like I said, that's our mission. We want you to be independent. We want you to you have a goal where you can go out and be on your own. And sometimes with our agency, one thing that sets us different from just going out and getting a job is we deal with your disability, whatever it is. It does not matter if it's a disability, it's diagnosed and it causes limitations. That's what we do. We'll try to figure it out, how to deal with it, and how to make you be successful, help you be successful in your goal. So our process is it seems kind of lengthy, and I will tell you that, but it's like, if you want to sign up for our program, and I think Hope or somebody has our phone numbers and our website and stuff like that, they can give it to you, but you call the number. A few simple questions get you started, and you'll schedule you with a counselor. And what we do is talk to you, and we try to find out what's actually keeping you from reaching your goals. And then we'll get you eligible for a program. And if you're eligible, then that's when the rubber meets the road. We start talking about what do you want to do? What is your goal, and how are we going to get there? Whether it's training, whether we help pay with tuition for a bachelor's degree, or we pay for certification, we help you get even your CDL license. If you just want a job, and we'll help you with how to like I said, we do mock interviews. We help you with resumes. We provide you with job leads. And in saying that, we work in conjunction with, like, the Career Center, Kentucky Career Center. And sometimes we run dual cases, because we figure if we both jump on it, we can get you a job, and that's you can maintain. And that's the whole point. I sent Hope a flyer for Voc Rehab and consumer guide, which the consumer guide tells all of our stuff in the process. If you need that, I'm sure she can get that to you, or if you, she could probably give you my email, our phone numbers, all that, probably post it or put in the chat or something. And what'll happen is, like I said, once you call, that triggers it, and we'll try to get you on task where we can get you a goal. Now, sometimes it requires us to get you I had a lady come in. She said, "I think I have anxiety and depression, but I don't know." We provide services. We'll have a psycho-eval. Like I said, we provide tutors. I got two right now that I'm providing tutors for right now, and their grades have improved vastly. So just if I had a couple of days, I could kind of explain all our programs, but that's just kind of the gist of it. It's very, how do I say it? We are very successful in trying to get you jobs and keeping you jobs. That's the main thing. We don't want to just stick you in a job and you not want to keep it. So I emphasize that a lot, because I know, like, when you may think that you want to go to the factory, and you go to a factory and you can't handle the factory, and you think, oh, what we do is try to talk about that. If that's your goal and you're going to stick to it, we'll support it if we can, but we always try to help you understand that, that this may not be for you, because like I said, I actually worked in a factory once and it just was not for me. And so I learned my lesson. So I think we went over a bunch of the stuff, and the best thing I can tell you is, for you, if you want help with tuition, or you want help with school, you want to help get a job, you need any kind of services like that, if Hope and them will post that or put it in the chat box or something like that, then what we'll do, if you call, then we'll take it from there. Like I said, tuition $1,500 a semester if you're making the grades, $500 for books, which is huge. I know, because my daughter's in college and it costs a lot. So anything like that can help. So if you guys have any questions or.
Yes, everyone, we're going to do things a little bit differently because Ricky has a doctor's appointment that he has to go to. But if you all have questions for Ricky and about OVR, please put them in the chat box, or you are welcome to unmute and ask them. I do want to remind everyone that we have put together a resource guide for all of our presenters through this series event, and you can find all of the information that Ricky was talking about in that resource guide.
And one thing I will tell you, like, if you'll go to the website, it'll take you through a lot of stuff. I mean, you can learn a lot of stuff, but if you're just wanting to help with some of the stuff with school, it just takes a phone call to contact our assistant, and she'll set you up with, if you're from, I don't know, if you're from Fayette County, and you call my number, we'll get you a number to a counselor or to somebody in Fayette County. We don't just say, we don't do that. So no matter what county you're in, we'll take care of you if you'll just call that number. And the best thing for me to tell you to do is call that and set up a meeting with one of the counselors, so we can explain everything a little bit more in depth on what our process is and how this, how it works. And that way, if you have any questions, because sometimes my appointments take an hour and a half, just because of the questions, because we kind of, it seems kind of unreal that we help people like that. I mean, because usually a state agency don't pay that much money for tuition or books or buy you hearing aids or any of that stuff. So the best bet is for you to contact our office and then set up with a counselor, okay?
Ricky, we do have a question. One of the students is asking, how old do you have to be to get services through OVR?
Well, one of the things is you have to be able and willing to obtain employment. But in our schools, we have Pre-ETS. So we take on, and we usually from 14 to 24 if they're in school, 14 years old to 24 years old. So, but I'd say, normally, just to find jobs or get in training, 18, and there's no limit. I mean, I actually have a 91-year-old on my caseload. Believe it or not, still does landscaping. And also, like what I said, if they're in school, we have a program called Pre-ETS, or community work, which is basically what we do here, but it's just in school. Like the school will take them out, let them job shadow, teach them about work ethic, even talk about going to college, usually if they have an IEP or 504, then they're usually in our program. Does that answer your question?
I think it does. I know we're mainly focusing on, what programs and services are out there for students after they are done with high school.
Well, like I said, we are. That's usually when we try to get them, because usually if you're in the program in the school and you get out of school and you don't have a job and you're in my program, we don't close you. You continue to be in our program. So, like I said, after school, if they want just to get a job, they need some kind of training, they want to go to school, whatever, then they need to contact our program.
Okay, great. And then I know you kind of went through like making sure that they call to start services. I know you all have like an application process. Do you mind kind of going over that a little bit?
Okay. How this works is once you call our office, it triggers our assistants to find, I cover Allen County and Glasgow, and we got counselors that cover Hart, Barron, Monroe. We cover the 10-county area here. So what happens, you call, and let's say you live in Allen County, then my assistant will schedule you for me as an appointment. And what we'll do is in that appointment, I'll go over through the application process. We'll get information from you, find out if we need to, send to get medical records, or we got to do some kind of evaluations or whatever. Through the application, it usually gives us 60 days to find you eligible, but it usually doesn't take that long unless we just have trouble getting medical records or getting evaluations done. If you're eligible for a program, then what happens is after that, we'll schedule another appointment. We'll start talking about what your goal is. And if it's for you to go to school and you're trying to get a bachelor's degree and you can make the grades and a lot of variables with that, then what we'll do is write out a plan that says we're going to help pay for tuition. Now, with that, like I said, you have to keep at least a 2.0 grade point average. Any changes you do, dropping classes, any that you have to report to us. So things like that. And the application process it's not really that daunting. It's just one of the things that it's gotten better is if we have to get medical records, like if I have to get medical records from Vandy, it takes a minute. So.
Great, thank you for sharing that. Does anybody else have any questions for Ricky? While those questions may be coming in, I just want to say, Ricky, thank you so much for being here and presenting to all of our students today. We love this opportunity that we've provided, and hopefully sharing with the students all of their options for once they are done with high school.
And thank you for asking us to be a part of this. I apologize. It's kind of seems rushed, and to be honest with you, I and Hope can attest to this. I'm actually better in person than I am on this, because I really like to talk and I like to brag on the program, and I apologize for that. So, but if you have any questions, they have my email, the phone numbers, and I will gladly contact you. And I apologize for this.
Yes, you are good. We are happy to get all of our students connected to OVR, and hopefully next year, if we're to do this event again, we will all be in person, masks or no masks, whatever 2021, 2022 will bring.
Let's just keep our fingers crossed. And thank you guys again for having me, okay?
Thank you. Okay, everyone. So that was Ricky from OVR. And if you have more questions for him or anything like that, you can find his contact information in our resource guide, or feel free to please email Hope or I, and we will get you all connected. So now we're going to move on to the Kentucky Career Center, and this is Shannon, and she will be sharing all about their services.
Good morning. My name is Shannon Gottke, and I work for Career Team. I am housed in the Kentucky Career Center, which used to be called the Unemployment Office, and we try our best to get away from that moniker, but it has a way of sticking. The first thing that I wanted to talk to you about is WIOA, and that is what Career Team was hired to do. We administer the WIOA funding. WIOA stands for the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, and it is a pot of federal money that we disperse. So it is designed to help job seekers access employment, education, training, and support services to succeed in the job market. So we have a few different segments or sectors of people that we help. We help adults, dislocated workers, which would be any worker that has lost his or her employment through no fault of their own. For instance, if your company closes down, we help people whose jobs have gone overseas. We also help youth, and that would be anybody from 16 to 24. We help with adults who are seeking education. We help unemployed people who are just without employment and they want to get back into the workforce. We work with several different partners, and Ricky is, of course, with Voc Rehab, and they are one of our partners, the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation. We also partner with the Chamber of Commerce, Job Corps, the Housing Authority, Community Action, Goodwill, Audubon, Adult Ed. So we have a lot of different partners. And that's just a way of saying that, as Ricky said, if you are at loose ends, say you graduate from school and you really don't know which way to turn, what you want to do, the Kentucky Career Center is a good starting point, because if we don't have what you need, then chances are very good that we will have a partner who does have what you need. And we are very good at making those connections and building those bridges to get you where you need to go. A lot of the people, to get back to WIOA funding, what WIOA does in real language is it pays for training. It pays supportive services if you are WIOA eligible, and that is based on barriers. That might be a financial barrier, that might be a housing barrier. If you're a youth and you're a parent, you would qualify through that. It might be an educational barrier. So anyone with barriers like that, adult or youth, we have funding to help with training. And some of the trainings that we offer, they're in the 5 high demand sectors, which is also a way of saying that once you've received the training, there will be a job for you out there. And that is based on the high demand in our area. Those would be trainings in CDL and logistics, or transportation and logistics, and that includes getting a CDL certification. So, for instance, we would be able to pay for your training for your CDL license, and we would be able to pay for the license itself. So that is one of our very successful programs, and what we find is that the people that we put through the training are hired before they're even completely finished. So there is a very high demand for that segment. We also offer trainings in medical billing and coding, in IT, in business, in medical assisting. So we have a lot of different programs based on your area of interest. And like Ricky said, we don't want to, a lot of times we will have people come in who really don't know what they want to do. And one of our goals is to ascertain what their interests are, what their capabilities are, and to put them into a job that they will love and that they will stick with, because that is a positive outcome. To see someone not just in a job to make this month's rent, but to find a job that you can make a career of is what we all want. And that is what we try to do. So again, Kentucky Career Center, I put the kcc.ky.gov website into the chat. So if you scroll all the way up to the top of the chat, you'll see that, as well as my email address. And what we're best at is just connecting dots and building bridges, because we also work with employers. I almost forgot that, but we have employer services. And that means that we have very close ties with a lot of the big employers here in Bowling Green and surrounding counties. The state of Kentucky is divided into 10 different regions. We are the South Central region, and the South Central region contains 10 counties. So our Kentucky Career Center, we've got an office here in Bowling Green, and we've got one in Glasgow. And in addition to that, we have got access points in all of the 10 counties in this South Central region. So just like Ricky said, we've got counterparts in all of our different regions. So say you want to, you graduate from school in the South Central region, but you know you want to relocate to Lexington, Kentucky, or, and that would be the Bluegrass District, or the Bluegrass region, or you want to go to Louisville, and that would be the Kentuckiana Works region. We have got counterparts in all of those places, and we can make that connection for you. So again, it's just a good place to start for whatever your needs are. And does anyone have any questions about WIOA? Okay.
I don't think we have any questions on WIOA.
Okay. All right. Well, if you know, if any questions do occur to you, like I said, my email address is there. The kcc.ky website is there. So, you know, feel free to email me or to get on the website and take a look around at all the things that we offer. And if no one has any questions about WIOA or any comments, we can proceed to the Kentucky Career Edge part.
Okay.
All right.
Shannon, you'd like to do the video first, correct?
Yes, I would. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Congratulations and welcome to your Kentucky Career Edge experience. We are excited for you to join us on this journey of personal and professional development. As a career seeker in Kentucky, you now have access to the Career Edge content, tools, and resources that are all designed to support you in building a solid foundation for career success. This interactive program includes information and modules that address the skills your future employer is looking for in ideal candidates. You also have access to a personalized assessment that will give you insights into the industries and career pathways that align with your skills and interests. Throughout your time in the Kentucky Career Edge, you will work with the Career Edge Toolkit to produce the tangible resources you need to start your career. The tools include a professional resume, cover letter, thank you letter, reference list, and online profile. At the conclusion of the program, you will have a better understanding of who you are and the unique value you bring to potential employers. You should feel confident in your ability to conduct a job search and understand what employers are looking for during the interview process. Upon completion, you should feel ready to enter the workforce with confidence needed to land the job you deserve. Ready to get started? Let's begin. Create your account at kycareeredge.com today.
Okay, Hope. Yeah, next slide, please. Okay, Kentucky Career Edge is one of the tools that we offer here as the Career Center, but the great thing about it is that we have obtained unlimited licensing for anybody within the state of Kentucky. So if you have a Kentucky zip code, you can have a Career Edge account. And that video was just an introduction to just a very quick overview to what Career Edge has to offer. But anyone that's on this call could get on online today, go to careeredge.com and create an account. What you are going to find there is a complete career building platform. It contains modules. We've got, modules on life skills, professional development, and a toolkit. And as you can see here at the bottom of this slide, KCTCS has its own region now. We have got a lot of users across Kentucky. And so you can get an account at KentuckyCareerEdge.com, or you can also use this KCTCS URL to immediately be put into that group. Next slide, please. Okay, as I said, we have 18 modules, and they are equally divided between life skills and professional development. So here you are looking at the life skills modules, and you can see that they cover a lot of material that is well suited to today's audience. How to develop study skills, becoming an effective online student, since with the pandemic, we've all had to get a lot more familiar with the online process. Time management, which is it's a value to us all, but especially when you are pursuing an education or you're looking to get into the workforce for the first time. Within the time management module, you'll see that it doesn't just say, build a schedule, set a schedule, allot this much time. It addresses the things that the barriers to being able to manage your time. For instance, procrastination. Is it a problem? And if it is, what are your triggers? How do you personally overcome the barrier that is procrastination? So it addresses things in a personal way within these modules. Next slide, please. The professional development set of modules, you can see here, we really stress networking, communication, and how to get you ready for the workforce. You're going to build a resume, learn how to do successful job searches. You will learn how to prepare for an interview. What is the interview process? How do you answer the difficult questions? Once you get the job, how do you succeed there, and how do you plan for your future? So it's not just tips on how to build the tools that you need, but how to search for the job, find the job, keep the job, and on past that. It is really no matter where you are in the process, there is something in it for you. Next slide, please. Hope, can you advance to the next slide, please? All right. This is an overview of our toolkit, and really this is what I would call the claim to fame for Career Edge. And this is so valuable because I don't know if this audience has yet built a resume, but if you have, it is it's a very time consuming, and there, especially if you're new at it, there's quite a bit of guesswork that goes into it. And not all resume builders are created equal. Many times you can get online and you will Google how to build a resume. You'll see a resume builder, free resume builder, but once you get into it, you find, while yes, it was free to build it, it's not free to download it, it's not free to print it, and there's not a lot that you can do with it after you've already invested your time. So this resume builder is an excellent one. It really offers so much information to help you, and I say it holds your hand all the way through it. It will tell you how to format it. It will give you professionally worded and correctly spelled suggestions for qualifications and skills based upon your interests. And it is just, once you've got all your information filled in, you've got 13 different templates to choose from, and everything that you do is saved within your account. You can always access it later. You can build 20 resumes if you want to. You can put them in all the different templates, and everything downloads into a Word document, which you can then tweak, you can correct it, you can polish it, and then save that to your account, and you will have it wherever you can access the internet from then on. Some of the other tools in there are the professional correspondence, your cover letter, what goes into a cover letter. It will tell you, it will show you how to build a cover letter. Mock job application. Most people have filled out an application, but what this does is it takes you through all the parts of the application, and it gives you tips and guidelines and reminders all the way through it. For instance, if you go into the job application, you put in your first name, but you forget to capitalize it, you'll get a pop-up saying, remember to capitalize your first name. It will give you advice on how to answer certain questions, like with regard to drug screening, etc. So it again does hold your hand all the way through. It's great practice, and again, you can download it at the end, save it as a PDF. You can print it out, take it with you. You want to go to Target and fill out a job application, print this job application that you filled out, take it with you. It'll make the job a lot easier. Or you can pull it up on your phone at the kiosk. You can look at it and use it as a guideline. The e-portfolio is exactly what it sounds like. It takes the place of a physical portfolio. It is your online profile, and this is where you store your resume, your transcripts, your letters of recommendation, professional headshot. You could record a YouTube video and upload it to here, and then you can take the link to that, put it on your resume, or email it to a potential employer. This is your online brag book. It is completely customizable by you. You don't have to share it until you're ready to, if ever. You know, you might get everything loaded in there just for your own convenience and decide that you don't want to share it, which is perfectly fine. Or it might be so great that you want to share it with everyone. If you do share it, it's just a link. You don't need a password to get into it, and it's a good way to show off your skills and your projects, anything that you want an employer to see. You can create a business plan within Career Edge, write a mentor letter, a thank you letter, and then the last part of the interview or of the toolkit is the interview simulation trainer. And that, again, is exactly what it sounds like. You sit down with your phone, your iPad, your webcam, your laptop, you go into the simulation trainer, and you will have someone in there to ask you the 15 most common interview questions, 15 top interview questions. You hit record and you record yourself answering those questions. If you're not sure how to answer a question, there's a link to a guide, and you'll have a little pop-up video that shows you, you know, the first question in there, for instance, is tell me a little bit about yourself. Okay, well, what do people want to know? We want to stick with the professional. So you're not quite sure how to answer it. You pause it, you guide it, you click on the guide, and you will have a nice gentleman come up and tell you, you know, what they're looking for with that question. And it's the same with all of them. You record your answer. If you like it and you're satisfied with it, then you save it. And if not, you re-record it. So this, your interviewer is not a live person. He's a recording. But what this does is increase comfort in front of the camera. It increases your confidence in your interviewing skills, and it basically takes away the worry of what do I look like, what do I sound like, and it lets you concentrate on how to best answer those questions. I have used this with students who I couldn't be face-to-face with, so they went in and they answered the questions on the simulation trainer, and I, as an admin, could go in and look at those and offer them some suggestions or some guidance or some kudos on doing a great job. So it's a fantastic tool, and again, it's free. Some of the things that I also like to mention are, because it is a website, you can access it anywhere. It's completely mobile friendly. You don't have to have anything downloaded. It's accessible, again, at no cost to anybody. If you live in Kentucky, your account will remain your account. It takes about 2 minutes to create one. It will always be yours until the time that you decide that you want to delete it. You can delete it, but it'll always be your account. It is, again, accompanied by step-by-step instructions, pop-ups, video guidelines, and it really does do a good job of holding your hand throughout your career search. Next slide, please. Hope, can we have the next slide? Okay.
It has moved on to the next slide. I think there's a little bit of a delay.
Okay, I've got it now. Okay, so just to sum it up, the benefits of Career Edge are that you do come out with those things that we need to pursue a job. You're going to have your resume, your cover letter. You'll have a thank you letter to send for after you've interviewed. You will have enhanced soft skills for interviewing. And in other words, this is going to, in those professional development modules, it is going to help you develop those skills, not only for the interviewing, but also you might have heard it said that your skills can get your job for you, but your soft skills will keep your job. And it really teaches a lot about how to enter the workforce for the first time. What do you need to do that? You know, how do you play well with others? It goes into all of that. And then finally, you will come out of this with increased confidence in your abilities to get a job and keep a job. And I can say that because in my former job, I was actually in career services, and I was able to use Career Edge to help my students get internships and to get jobs. And over the 2 years that I had that class and I used Career Edge, I did see a huge increase in my placement rate, which means that once those students who used Career Edge graduated, they were much more successful in finding jobs in their fields. So when I say that it increases confidence, I have been told that it does, but I've also seen that it does. And I can attest to the truth of that. So does anybody have any questions about Career Edge?
If anyone does have any questions, you're welcome to unmute and ask, or you can enter your questions in the chat box.
Okay, I put the link to Career Edge also. I put that in the chat up at the top. And my suggestion is if you do have curiosity about Career Edge and what it can do, is to go in there and just create your account. It takes about 2 minutes, you know, as I said, and you can just get in there and look around, you know, look at the modules, look at the videos, look at the toolkit. We don't like to encourage anyone just to hit and run with Career Edge, but we do have some of that because of the resume builder. If you go in there to build your resume and nothing more, that's perfectly fine, but it's got a lot more to offer. A couple of the things that I didn't touch on were there is something called a career cluster in it, and that is an interest assessment. And what that does is it lets you click through 49 questions and you answer with emojis. But you want to go in there and think about your answers. And at the end of it, it will give you your top 3 areas of interest, which is very important if you're entering the career, you know, or the workforce for the first time, or you're trying to decide, do I want to get a job or do I want to go straight on into school? It has got some suggestions for high school students. It's got suggestions for, you know, your pathways. If when you look at your top 3, we go by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and it will give you, you know, the outlooks. What can I do with this interest? Where can it take me? What education do I need? What skills will I use? So once you do that quick career cluster interest assessment, you can spend probably 2 days reading all the information that it will give you. And based on your interests, what are the best jobs for you? It will give you that. Then we also have the personality test, which is based on Briggs-Myers, but it is not, you don't have to answer 100 questions like you do with the Briggs-Myers test. It is based on 4 key questions. You answer those based on your personality. And at the end of it, it will give you your personality type. It will give you some information about the best careers for people of your personality type, the best way to do a job search based on your personality type, your strengths and weaknesses in the workplace, and then finally, what are some of the best jobs for people with your personality type. So, there are a lot of tools, a lot of information within Career Edge, and again, it's something that we offer here at the Career Center. It's totally mobile, totally accessible from anywhere you've got internet, but we also use it here at the Career Center. If you happen to be a youth who decides that you would like to pursue a career in truck driving, or you would like to pursue a career in medical billing and coding, and you would like for us to pay for that for you, and you qualify, then Career Edge is something that you would also use to develop your, the tools that you're going to need for your job search, and also the soft skills that it will take to be a success in the workplace.
Awesome. It sounds like you guys offer a lot of different services for students. We do have one question in the chat box, and someone is asking if it is found in other places in Kentucky.
Yes, it is. We are divided up by regions, and say you go to Kentucky Career Edge and you created an account just at KentuckyCareerEdge.com. Based on the zip code that you put in there, you would be assigned to a region, and all that means is that you would be under the oversight of the career center in that region. So if you put in a Louisville zip code, then I would assign you to Kentuckiana Works. And when you attempted to contact the career center, it would connect you to that one. Now, if you put in a Bowling Green zip code, you'll be in South Central Kentucky, and you would be covered by this career center here in Bowling Green. But we do have Kentucky, or Career Edge is everywhere in Kentucky. And then, of course, the career centers are also everywhere in Kentucky. Does that answer that question?
I believe it does.
Okay.
Does anybody else have any other questions they'd like to ask Shannon?
I know this is a lot of information, and really my best advice would be to go to the website, and I would venture to guess that everybody on here has some reason that they could take advantage of Career Edge. I know I do myself, even if it's just to do a resume for someone else. But it really does have something to offer everyone, and we've used it in a lot of the high schools across the state, and also, of course, with KCTCS students. So we've got college students, high school students. I've even used it with a man who was he was a director of anesthesiology in a hospital. So he was a medical doctor, but he decided he wanted to change careers. And it doesn't matter what stage of life you're at. There's a little bit of insecurity in entering the job or the workforce, I think, whether it's for the first time or whether it's because of some change that's come about in your life. You're changing careers, or your job ended, you need to find something else. I think we can all use a little bit of support and guidance and encouragement at that stage. And Career Edge has got it, and the Kentucky Career Center has also got it. So if anybody has any questions that they think of later on and you'd like to email me, as I said, my email address is in the chat, and I welcome it.
We greatly appreciate it. We might have another question. I'm waiting for a response in our chat box. But real quick, let me just thank you so much for participating in this event. You did a great job, and we're so glad that you're able to share all of this with some of our students.
Well, it's my pleasure, and I love to talk about Career Edge. So I've got an overview that I usually do that takes a whole hour. so there's plenty to say about it. And if you need more information later on, just let me know.
Definitely, we will keep that in mind. And like I've said throughout this, Shannon's contact information is in the resource guide that we made for you all, and we will be sure to add the Edge website to that guide as well, so that way you all have your one-stop shop of resources.
That's great. You all did a great job with that.
Oh, thank you.
And thank you very much for having me on today. I appreciate being able to share the things that we do here.
Yes, thank you. Does anybody have any questions or need anything clarified?
While we're waiting for questions, thank you again, Shannon, so much. It was awesome. Also want to remind the participants for today, our next Pathways Series event will be in April, and we will be focusing on apprenticeships, and the South Central Workforce Development Board will be talking about apprenticeships with us that day.
Right. Well, the last thing that I'd like to say is that if you have a need, come see us. If we can't meet it, we know somebody who can, and we will make that connection for you.